The Gujarat political crisis hit Parliament today as the Congress went on the offensive, accusing the BJP of bribing their MLAs to quit the party. 6 MLAs have already resigned and sources say 7 more may follow. The panic-stricken party has 44 of its MLAs now locked up in a fancy resort just outside Bangalore. The battle is for the Rajya Sabha seat of Ahmed Patel, close aide of Sonia Gandhi. Mr. Patel today said Amit Shah has a personal grudge against him and accused the BJP of using money and muscle power in this prestige battle.
And under pressure, Congress hitting the streets in protest, playing the victim card as the party faces the tough challenge ahead of the Rajya Sabha elections in the state. Hundreds of kilometers away, the issue rocked Parliament as well. The Rajya Sabha was adjourned briefly after Congress members stalled proceedings.
अभी जो कुछ 8वीं तारीख को जो राज्यसभा का चुनाव होने जा रहा है उसके बारे के अंदर जो गतिविधियां चल रही है उसके ऊपर मैं आपका ध्यान आकर्षित करना चाहता हूं.
But the man at the receiving end of this political controversy hinted at the involvement of Amit Shah in the crisis. He said in an exclusive interview to NDTV.com that Amit Shah held a personal grudge against him, saying Amit Shah has a personal grudge against me, which is why they are going all out using the most underhand means that I've ever seen in my 40 years of politics to ensure that I lose. Money power, muscle power, you name it, they have deployed it. Though Ahmed Patel seems to hold an edge, but just by a fraction, the party has to keep its flock of 44 MLAs in Bengaluru together. Cross-voting from that pack could mar his chances. Ahmed Patel denied charges that he was greedy for power.
Huh?
Even Dr. Manmohan Singh advised. Yeah. Why don't you join ministry?
And you refused?
I refuse all the time.
But the BJP reiterated its stand.
ઠેઠ અહીંથી બેંગ્લોર સુધી જાય અને જેના મતોથી ચૂંટાણા છે એ બધા જ લોકોને આજે જનતા મૂકીને જાય એ ખરેખર આવનાર સમયમાં પ્રજા એમને ચોક્કસપણે જવાબ આપવાની છે.
What has left the Congress apprehensive is the fact that while 6 MLAs in the Waghela camp have resigned, 7 are yet to quit. Sources in the Waghela camp say they were revising their strategy and now these 7 MLAs could perhaps cross-vote.
An intense political battle ahead of the August 8th Rajya Sabha polls. With Rohit Bhan in Ahmedabad, Amitabh Revi, NDTV.
Well, quite a lot going on for that one Rajya Sabha seat and lots to talk about tonight, whether it's money and muscle power that is at play here as the Congress alleges, or whether it is Congress MLAs who are just fed up with their leadership and just want to make a point and perhaps switch sides before the upcoming elections. We have the former Chief Election Commissioner of India, Dr. S.Y. Qureshi, here in the studio with us. Also, Mr. N. Ram, the former Editor-in-Chief of The Hindu. Also with us this evening, Mr. Shishadri Chari, member of the BJP and senior commentator, and Pawan Khera, spokesperson of the Congress party. I want to ask Dr. Qureshi this first. You've actually seen this before, and there was a Rajya Sabha election, if I remember correctly, that you as CEC had countermanded because of these very allegations of horse trading and money power that were at play. Do you see any similarities?
Yes, of course. You know, the horse trading in Rajya Sabha has been going on for a long time. Everybody knew about that. When I was the CEC in March of 2012 and Rajya Sabha election for 2 seats was happening, and we were getting all reports of money exchanging hands, and we were very worried. Everyone knew what was happening. But we got an opportunity on the day of the poll at 6 o'clock. We saw 3 vehicles coming in, and when we stopped them, 2 ran away, and we found over 2 crore rupees from one of the from that vehicle. That was being driven by the son-in-law of one of the candidates who had come from outside Jharkhand to contest the election. So we had a very difficult decision to make, because whether this money was really linked to the election, it was difficult to prove. But since we were convinced that that is the case, we decided to take a call. In fact, our legal team said that suppose the court comes to the view that you could not have linked the money with the election. But we decided to stick our neck out. We wanted to test our resolve, and let me tell you frankly, we also wanted to test the judiciary. And sure enough, for the first time in history, we countermanded the poll. The dilemma before us whether to postpone the poll or countermand the election altogether, which means a new process, new candidate, new everything. So we countermanded. The matter went to the Jharkhand High Court, and I am very happy to say that not only they dismissed the petition, they imposed a fine of 1 lakh, and they said this is the most decisive action against corruption in the last 65 years.
So what is alarming here is that you're saying that there has been a history of corruption in the Rajya Sabha elections, and therefore, even though there's nothing that is decisively being proven in this case right now, it wouldn't surprise you.
Yeah, absolutely not, because we all know, you know, I know, everyone knows what's happening.
So, Mr. Chari, if I could take this to you, the Congress allegation is a very serious one, because they're even putting a price to it. They are alleging that the BJP has offered 15 crores, which is a staggering amount at any rate. But in this post-demonetization era, I do wonder where such wads of cash would come from. But 15 crores per MLA is the price that they are quoting, accusing the BJP of underhanded, dirty tricks in order to wrest this Rajya Sabha seat from Ahmed Patel. Mr. Chari.
See, the Congress is losing this election. In all probability, there is a huge problem within the party. We saw what happened in Bihar. The Congress Vice President meets the Bihar Chief Minister, and then 3 days after that meeting, Bihar Chief Minister quits. And then the Congress Vice President says, I met the Chief Minister, he never told me anything. I mean, it's absolute foolishness or naivety, I don't know what it is. The same thing is happening as far as Gujarat is concerned. One of the tall leaders of the Congress, Shankar Singh Waghela, he virtually quit the Congress party, and the Congress party has not done anything as far as approaching Waghela is concerned, trying to patch him up, nothing. I mean, they've just left it. We saw what happened to the Congress party in Goa. They had the mandate, but they could not form the government. And now you are accusing the BJP. They are accusing the BJP of paying money to Congress MLAs. We don't have to pay money. Nobody is offering any money to Congress MLAs. Congress MLAs are jumping the ship. They are deserting the sinking ship. And they are trying to keep the Congress MLAs intact in Bangalore and all those places. But I don't know if it will work or it may not work in all that probability. And now another Congress leader has already started saying that we should not link Ahmed Patel's victory to Sonia Gandhi's leadership. Even if he loses, it is not a loss for Sonia Gandhi. I mean, what does it indicate? That means you have lost. You have lost the plot, you have lost the game. What is the point of blaming the BJP? I think they must put their own house in order instead of blaming the BJP in this manner.
Well, I don't expect in any case anyone from the BJP to ever say on a television program that yes, we offered money to Congress MLAs to jump ship. But you do have a very important point there, and I'll take that to Pawan Khera, which is on the Congress's political management.
But we did not offer. What is there to say?
Exactly.
I mean, it doesn't require any kind of courage for us to say that we are saying yes, we have not offered any money.
So I'm asking Pawan Khera the question that you raised, Mr. Chari,
which is say that
on the political.
This is absolutely wrong way of interpreting what I have said.
No, I said that I wouldn't expect anyone to admit that money has been offered in any case. So that denial is not a surprise. But Pawan Khera, the point that Mr. Chari raises is you don't have to pay Congress MLAs to switch sides.
I mean, don't say admit. No, don't say admit.
All right, Mr. Chari, you can have you can quibble with me over which words to use. But Pawan, doesn't Mr. Chari have a point about political management? He says you don't have to pay Congress MLAs to jump ship. Maybe these guys are just switching sides. You have elections coming up in the state later this year, and they know that the Congress is in big trouble in Gujarat.
Well, I'm glad Mr. Chari admitted that he is in touch with Mr. Waghela and he knows that Congress has not reached out to Mr. Waghela. How else would he know? So I rest my case. They are all aware of what's happening. They are in touch with most of our MLAs. And as far as jumping ship is concerned, some of our MLAs came out and informed us. In public, they went and said that 15 or 20 crores are being offered to MLAs. So whether we have, I completely agree with Mr. Chari, BJP has better managers and Congress has better leaders. So yes, it is a contest between leaders and managers. People of India are watching. They want leaders, they don't want managers. Managers can only win up to a point. And finally, leaders prevail. I completely agree with Mr. Chari. And thanks, Mr. Chari, you've informed us that you are in touch with Waghela ji.
But Pawan, when the
We are seeing the leadership qualities of the Congress party.
But Pawan, when you make an accusation
my
of 15
audio is very
crores,
low. I can't hear Mr. Chari.
I'll just get that fixed. If we could just fix that audio so that the two guests could hear each other. Pawan, when the Congress makes an allegation of 15 crores as bribes being offered to each MLA, where is the evidence to back that up? It is a serious allegation that is being made. Is there proof?
Sorry? Yeah. So people, MLAs who were offered the money and they decided not to take the money, not to jump sides, came out and said it. Now it's their word against what's happening. So what you see, 3 or 4 MLAs jumping sides, and others who are not jumping sides are coming out and saying that this was the money offered. What other proof do you require?
It's one set of MLA's word against the word of others, Mr. Ram. How do you look at this crisis that's playing out?
So your
against
Congress
the action
MLAs
of
are
others.
paragons of
Nadi,
virtues.
let me interrupt.
Congress MLAs
word
are
of
paragons
some
of
MLAs
virtues.
against the action of other MLAs who've jumped sides.
I want to ask Mr. N. Ram, though, how he's looking at this and why this particular seat has become such a prestige battle. I mean, you have 44 Congress MLAs right now sitting in a 5-star resort when the state is under floods. It's actually unthinkable.
Yes, it is bizarre, and I think both are true that the wind is blowing, is seen to be blowing in a particular way, and it's not just in Gujarat but elsewhere. People have jumped ship. But the real issue here, Nidhi, is it's scandalous the way our electoral finance, electoral funding takes place, despite all the attempts made, despite numerous reform proposals that have been made. You know, the Election Commission, of course, is helpless, but it's not solely responsible. It does its bit. But factors outside overwhelm both the laws and the enforcement. The enforcement authority, in this case, the supervising authority, the controlling authority, the Election Commission of India. And it's scandalous to see this go on. Even the allegations, have significance, because it's all over the place, and it seems to be an intractable problem. The corruption of elections, I think among all major democracies or parliamentary democracies, India must be among the worst with respect to corrupt electoral finance.
Which is what you've just written about as well. I want to ask Dr. Qureshi that on that point that Mr. Ram raised, hadn't you also set up some kind of a mechanism within the Election Commission to deal with this issue of corruption and financial corruption in elections? What happened to that?
Yes. Actually, when I took over in 2010, there were 2 challenges before me, or I put 2 challenges before me. One was money power, the other was voter apathy. And we set up 2 separate divisions to deal with the 2 issues. Voter education has paid dividends. Every election has given us highest ever turnout. But in money power, for the first 2 years, we had tremendous success. Tamil Nadu was the first election, and Mr. Ram will bear me out with what force we came down on the election. But politicians are smarter. In fact, I had written a book in 2014 in which I had listed 40 modus operandi how money operates. Now they have invented many more. Now the money reaches the destination much before the Election Commission comes into play. And that's how, and I'm very sorry to admit that this is one area where Election Commission is failing if it has already not failed.
In your experience though, Dr. Qureshi, when you see MLAs jumping ship like this, do you think they're driven purely by ideology?
Not at all. In fact, one is plain to see that there is no ideology left in politics. They just turn coat at the drop of a hat. There is no ideology at all. So, and that's been happening for a long time. Even these 44 MLAs somewhere in the resort, it's a 30-year-old phenomenon. You know, the resort Ayaram, when it started. So that is
Mr. Chari, you know, someone like Dr. Qureshi, who's been the Chief Election Commissioner, doesn't believe that these MLAs are switching sides because they've had a change of heart and, you know, suddenly they feel ideologically awakened to the BJP's point of view. He believes very much that there is more that is happening here. Mr. Chari.
See, I think there are 2 things to this issue. One is, Indira Gandhi was probably the only politician in this country whose election was set aside for 6 years, and she was disqualified from contesting for political corruption and moral turpitude on this issue of moral turpitude and political corruption. And then she imposed emergency and she imprisoned Jagmohan Lal Sinha, who was the judge who passed this particular case. After that, no politician in India has been punished for political corruption, and which Indira Gandhi indulged in. Communists are known for scientific rigging that they conducted for 36 years in West Bengal. Lalu Prasad Yadav was a man who became infamous, rather famous or infamous, for booth capturing. So these are all not corruptions. Nobody says anything about that. And when 4 MLAs from the Congress or 6 MLAs from the Congress party want to leave the Congress party because they see no future in the Congress party, the Congress party will have to look inwards and see why the people are deserting them. Why Waghela, who strategized for the Congress party and actually won 32% of the votes in Gujarat, has been thrown out into the dustbin. You expect him to continue in the Congress party, and for what? He has not joined the BJP, but he has left the Congress. Let the Congress look at its own image in the mirror and try and set it right, rather than accusing the BJP. So it's very ironical, absolutely funny. It's nothing to do with corruption. It's pure and simple political future of these people, and they are just deserting the sinking ship.
Mr.
It's
Chari,
for the
what
Congress
do you
to
make
rethink
of,
about what they are doing now.
Mr. Chari, what do you make of Ahmed Patel's comments today to NDTV.com, where he says he believes Amit Shah has a personal grudge against him, which is why this has become such a prestige battle?
I don't think so. I don't think Amit Shah could have any personal grudge against him. But Ahmed Patel was behaving as a super kingmaker when he was closely associated with Sonia Gandhi. Even now he is closely associated with Sonia Gandhi, and he was behaving. And this, I don't have to say, ask any of the congressmen who are dealing with Ahmed Patel, the way they used to really cringe in front of him.
Okay,
nobody need vouch for all these things.
Well, Pawan, do you want to take what Mr. Chari says there about Ahmed Patel?
He is paying the price of what he has been doing all these years.
But also, Pawan, if you could answer this sort of extraordinary situation where at the end of the day, for this one Rajya Sabha seat, you have 44 MLAs of the Congress locked up in a resort, as I mentioned earlier, and you have these horrible floods that Gujarat has been hit by. More than 200 people have died. These MLAs should be in their constituencies, but instead they're in a 5-star resort in Karnataka. Is this really what should be happening?
Nidhi, both aspects. Mr. Chari says Congress should look within, and Ahmed Patel was behaving like a kingmaker. What rubbish. What rubbish. Now today Amit Shah is behaving like a kingmaker. So does that mean that we start sabotaging the BJP, trying to buy MLAs? This is like completely unethical, and it doesn't befit a man like of the stature of Mr. Chari to talk like this. And when you say that there are floods in Gujarat and the MLAs of Congress are in Bangalore, I ask the same question to the BJP. There are floods in Gujarat. Your state government and the ruling party is busy buying MLAs. Where are they getting the money from? Why are they wasting their energy and their resources on buying 6 or 7 MLAs just to defeat Ahmed Patel, one Rajya Sabha? Why? This is an election winning machine and not a government.
Well, by that same logic, as I said, your MLAs are also sitting right now currently in the resort.
It's absolutely wrong, rubbish. BJP is not buying any MLAs. We are not in the game of buying MLAs. Absolute rubbish.
Well, I just want to ask Mr. Ram that is that at the
The
heart
BJP
of this
leaders and
battle?
the workers are busy attending to people who are affected by the flood. We care two hoots as far as Ahmed Patel's victory or defeat is concerned. If he wants to go to Rajya Sabha, he can retain his 44 people and go to Rajya Sabha if he wants.
That's the act. So the act,
but this whole idea of taking his MLAs to Bangalore and making a sham of democracy. If he has the guts, let all the 44 MLAs be free.
Well, the issue then, Mr.
Set them
Ram,
free.
I get Mr. Ram to make a final comment on this. Is this ultimately about embarrassing Ahmed Patel, Sonia Gandhi's close aide? Is this what it has come down to?
Yeah, I think it's all about that, and blowing it completely out of proportion, as you imply, and trying to get it close to Sonia Gandhi, and she just has to walk away from this. And to cite Mr. Chari, what does it matter in that case? But they're making a huge issue out of it. But Nidhi, I thought, from what was said here, there's this famous saying about journalists. You can't hope to bribe or twist the British journalists, but considering what the man would do unasked, there's no occasion to. Humpert Wolf. So that's what some of this is, but I think the issue of the allegations about corrupt electoral finance, I think have to be taken very seriously.
I think that's why the Election Commission is looking at that and has asked for a report.